for the beauty of the earth, for the splendor of the skies, for the love which from our birth over and around us lies. Source of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the joy of ear and eye, for the heart and mind's delight, for the mystic harmony, linking sense to sound and sight. Source of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the wonder of each hour, of the day and of the night, hill and vale and tree and flower, sun and moon and stars of light. Source of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. As Unitarian Universalists, we believe truth is larger than any one book or way. Religion and science go hand in hand. Integrity requires freedom of conscience. Diversity is something to celebrate. In the struggle for justice, we come alive. Our highest aspiration and calling is love. For the joy of human care, sister, brother, parent, child, for the kinship we all share, for all gentle thoughts and mild, source of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. Whoever you are, whomever you love, whatever path you are on, you are welcome here. Once a month this year, we light our chalice in honor of a justice hero, someone whose work in Cleveland or beyond, in the past or present, reflects the best of our Unitarian Universalist values. Our justice hero for May is Brandon Krostowski. Brandon is here. Please stand and let us greet you. So glad you're here this morning. There he is. That's in his work gear. Brandon Krostowski has built his life around a simple but radical conviction. No human being is reducible to their worst moment. Through Edwin's, he has offered formerly incarcerated people more than training and employment. He has offered dignity, belonging, discipline, beauty, and the real possibility of a new beginning. In this work, we recognize values at the heart of our faith, the inherent worth and dignity of every person, justice joined with compassion, and a community willing to make room for restoration and hope. In honor of Brandon Krostowski and of all who help human lives become whole again, we light our chalice this morning. Well, hello, West Shore. Good morning to you. How are you? How the heck are you? Great, glad you're here this morning. Best place to be on a Sunday morning here in Cleveland, even though the sky, the weather out there is so beautiful. Isn't it nice? We've been waiting for it, haven't we? We went through January, February, March, didn't we, to get to this moment? It's lovely. Glad you're here. We have so much good that is going on in our congregation. Check out the West Shore Weekly insert in your order of service about events coming up and how you can get involved. I do want to bring some things to your attention. Here's one of them. That's us from last year's annual Pride March. It is a beautiful and meaningful time. We were having fun that day. It's a visible demonstration of support for the LGBTQ+ community and our conviction that we cannot and will not be silent in our march towards equality for all. So join us for this year's march coming up this Saturday, June 6th. Gather at 10 a.m. at Public Square, step off at 11 a.m., and we'll march to Mall B, where the Pride Festival will be held until 6 p.m. You don't have to stay that long if you don't want to. Okay. West Shore will have a booth there to march and or to volunteer to help with the booth. If you'd like to do that, contact Kathy Little. Is Kathy here? There, Kathy, can you stand up? There's Kathy right there. Go talk to her. She will be in the rotunda after services. Kathy, we sure appreciate you. So I'm going to be there at Pride, and one thing I'll be offering is this. Glitter blessings. Glitter blessings. You laugh, but very often when I offer a glitter blessing, the person breaks down in tears because they're having an experience of someone who represents the clergy, supposedly God, and they feel accepted so deeply. So they're very meaningful. So I'll be there doing that. And then, come to church the next day. We're going to be learning about the gospel of RuPaul. It's our annual Pride service. After the service, there will be Pride pancakes. Pride pancakes. What do y'all think about that? Pride pancakes to enjoy. Oh my God, that's going to be great. And it will be followed by a panel discussion at noon here in the sanctuary about what is happening in our state legislature about proposed LGBTQ+ bills. Our presenters will be Senator Nikki J. Antonio, who represents Ohio's 23rd Senate District, and Dwayne Stewart, Executive Director of Equality Ohio. Together they will discuss what is happening and offer guidance on the most effective ways to respond. Now let me ask, if you were here for the first or second time and you do not mind people knowing, raise a hand. Great, we're so glad you're here. We're so glad you're here this morning. And of course, if you're an introvert like me and this is not palatable to you, we're so glad you're here as well. So now we're going to pass the peace to each other. We will greet each other. The greeting time will end with the soundings of the bowl. So let's greet each other. Here we go. Let's do it. We come to this good morning, remembering the journey of freedom. The land we are on was once another's. We mourn the legacies of oppression. Healing is our way forward. Joy is the birthright of all. So this morning we have the privilege of hearing from two people who represent something remarkable, a family whose commitment to this congregation spans more than 70 years. John and Pat, please come up. John and Pat Zangerly have been a part of West Shore's story since before many of us were born, and they have something they would like to share with us this morning.
Thank you, but you make me feel old as dirt. Good morning, everyone, and it is a beautiful morning. I'm John Zangerly. This is my wife, Pat, and you probably, at least many of you, probably don't know us because we haven't been around for a while. We call ourselves Unitarian Ghost. We are a family that believes very strongly in the Unitarian principles, the values you see in your program, and we believe in financially supporting the church. But as you'll hear a little later, there's a reason we got away from regular attendance. Now, my family started with the Unitarian Church in the 1940s. I actually remember going to the Lakewood location where the church first met, which was the Masonic Temple. When the church moved or planned to move to Rocky River, my father was very involved and was excited about this relocation. In fact, he would put the whole family in the car and we would drive out to that faraway Rocky River. Remember, there was no I-90. And we would watch the church as it was being constructed. Now, not only did we watch the church being constructed, but my father, slide please, my father also was involved in sweat equity, as were many of the members. On the right there is my father, nattily attired with his hat, spreading fertilizer to generate the new lawn in front of Baker Hall. I was also very engaged in church at that time. I was in junior church, and I made a number of wonderful friends that I felt were very special. The thing that I remember most, though, and I want to highlight, is the leadership of Reverend Wayne Chute and Reverend Peter Sampson. I remember them with great fondness.
I had first attended West Shore Unitarian Church with high school friends at the end of my high school years, but did not become active until after we were married. Evelyn LaJeunesse, the longtime RE director, recruited us in the late 1960s when our kids were very small to be advisors for the junior church. Slide, please. This picture was taken in the mid-1970s when the church was publishing a directory and all the families were invited to have pictures taken for the directory. In true Unitarian fashion, our Newfoundland dog was welcomed into the church to be in the family picture as the important member of the family he was at the time. By that time, both John and I had been very active as junior church advisors and RE teachers. However, after the 1980 Miracle on Ice at the Winter Olympics, both of our boys became very involved in hockey, and there went all of our any free time, early mornings, Sunday mornings, weekends, afternoons, and it's a year-round sport. But although we were not active in person, we continued to make annual contributions every year. We have always felt strongly about the mission and importance of West Shore to our community and the need to support it financially.
Now, fast forward 40 years, and I receive a call from someone named Karen Kircher. No idea who she was, but I took the call anyway. And lo and behold, she was very engaging and convinced us that it was important to attend the special 80th anniversary celebration of the church. She induced me to attend because she said some of my old, this is very old, high school junior church associates would be at this meeting. So we came to church and we enjoyed it immensely. I think the most important thing was we felt right at home. Now we did realize that there were some changes, but the principal and core issues, the wonderful sermons that we've enjoyed, the wonderful music, and the Holt Camp organ are all things that we remembered and still love to this day. The one thing that was new to us and came as quite a surprise was the contemporary service. As we walked in, we were being handed earmuffs, and we didn't quite know why. But then we attended the service and started grooving with the Free Spirit Band and decided that, hey, this was pretty good. On March 29th, the church held its kickoff for the Capital Campaign with the Capital Campaign brunch. And we attended the brunch, and we were simply overwhelmed with the amount that this church had raised in the early stages of the Capital Campaign. We were so impressed that we said, we need to be a part of this. Now, when Karen and Suhanna, who were our team, called, we were quite willing to set up a meeting in our home. And the meeting was very pleasant. I know they're scheduled for an hour, but we talked for well over that. And during the meeting, there was really no pressure put on us about any donation. It was a discussion about the church and what was going on, what it was doing. At the end of the meeting, we decided that we would wait a day or two to talk this over ourselves before making the decision. But there was, again, no pressure or request to make a decision that day. We decided pretty quickly that we would support the campaign, and we came in that Sunday morning, went to Suhanna's office and signed our pledge cards. Now, we look at this pledge as paying it forward. This is the same thing that I think my parents did in their time. Now, at our age, we're not sure that we're going to really enjoy some of the benefits that will be put into this church with the results of this capital campaign. But that really doesn't matter. What's important is to recognize how important this church is to our community. We know it deserves support just the way our family supported it for more than 70 years. When the committee calls to ask you to make an appointment, please say yes. You won't regret it.
Oh, yeah. John and Pat, on behalf of this congregation, thank you. What a gift to hear your family's story woven so deeply into the story of this place. Their closing words are worth sitting with just for a moment. When someone calls to make an appointment, please say yes. And now, some news. Pledges that have come in over the past couple of weeks have carried us to a new milestone. We have now crossed 2.8 million, which means another brick is added to our progress board. Thank you, Courtney. So we need some fanfare music as that brick is making its way down through the center aisle. Dave, let's hear some fanfare music. This is fantastic. Yeah! This brick represents the generosity of this congregation. Your neighbors, your friends, the people sitting beside you this morning. And in a moment, actually it's already done. It's passed down the aisle. So we are excited about this. And Well, one more thing I need to mention before we take today's offering. We are offering spontaneous visits today, right after the service at 11:30 and again at 12:30. Sign up at the campaign table in the rotunda immediately following the service. There's no obligation, just an hour to learn more, ask questions, and consider your part in the campaign. The offering will now be given and gratefully received.
Poem 133, The Summer Day by Mary Oliver. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean. The one who has flung herself out of the grass. The one who is eating sugar out of my hand. Who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down. Who is gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I have been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last, and too soon? Tell me, what is your plan to do with your one wild and precious life?
Into the heart of love, deeper letting go into the mystery, letting go into the mystery, letting go into the mystery, rising in love, deeper, deeper into the heart of love, deeper, deeper into the heart of love, letting go into the mystery, letting go into the mystery, letting go into the mystery, rising in love, deeper, deeper into the heart of love, deeper, deeper into the heart of love, letting go into the mystery, letting go into the mystery, letting go into the mystery, rising in love, deeper, deeper into the heart of love, deeper, deeper into the heart of love, letting go into the mystery, letting go into the mystery, letting go into the mystery, rising in love, deeper, deeper into the heart of love, deeper, deeper into the heart of love, letting go into the mystery, letting go into the mystery, letting go into the mystery, rising in love. Blessed be.
Over the course of this year, we have spent a great deal of time in the company of the Transcendentalists. We have been moved by the mysticism of Mary Moody Emerson. We have listened to her nephew, Ralph Waldo Emerson, insist that life must be lived from the inside out. We have watched Thoreau test the terms of ordinary existence. We have considered Margaret Fuller, her demand that the soul be not reduced by custom. Again and again, this movement has called us towards being more awake, more direct, more courageous, all in the service of being more human. And yet this morning, at the end of this series, I want to suggest that Transcendentalism did not end when the 19th century ended. It did not disappear when the Concord Circle passed from the scene. It did not exhaust itself in essays and journals and walks around Walden Pond. It kept going. It kept changing voice. It kept looking for new forms. And one of the clearest places where it continues to live, I think, is in the poetry of Mary Oliver. Though she herself passed in 2019, her poems remain ever inspiring, even astonishing. She did not need to stand up and announce herself as a transcendentalist in order to stand in that lineage. She simply kept practicing some of its deepest disciplines. She kept going out into the living world. She kept distrusting second-hand experience. She kept treating nature not as scenery, but as revelation. She kept returning to the conviction that attention is no small thing, that the quality of our attention is itself a spiritual matter. Emerson once asked something that became one of the animating questions of the whole movement. Why, he wondered, should we not enjoy an original relationship with the universe? Why should we live merely by inheritance, by repetition, by borrowed lineage, by stale forms of knowing? Why should we be content to let other people tell us what reality means, instead of going out to meet it ourselves? That question has not gotten smaller with time. It has gotten larger. Because if Emerson's age was tempted by conformity, ours is tempted by distraction. If his age risked living by inherited opinion, ours risks continuous interruption. We are surrounded by information and starved for encounter, surrounded by commentary and starved for presence, surrounded by stimulation and starved for genuine insight. And so perhaps the great spiritual problem of our moment is not only that we are cynical or anxious or overextended, though many of us are all of those things. Perhaps the deeper problem is that we no longer really know how to behold. We glance, we skim, we consume, we react, but we do not often see. Mary Oliver knew this. And her poetry, for all its gentleness, is not merely pretty. It is corrective. It is remedial. It is trying to teach us to look again. One of the reasons Oliver matters so much is that she carries forward one of the great transcendentalist convictions, that the world is not spiritually empty. The pond, the grass, the heron, the geese, the morning light, the black bear, the trees, none of these are an inert backdrop in her poems. They are not decorative settings for human feeling. They are presences. They are teachers, sometimes comforting, sometimes rebuking, sometimes inviting us to cross over a threshold. Like Emerson, Oliver believes that the world is charged with significance. But where Emerson can sometimes sound grand and oracular, Oliver sounds humbler, more creaturely, more intimate. Emerson gives us the transparent eyeball, and the currents of universal being. Oliver gives us the grasshopper, the pond edge, the soft animal of the body, the wild geese calling overhead. And perhaps that is exactly why she matters now. Because Oliver translates the grandeur of transcendentalism into a key that contemporary people can still hear. She does not say, ascend into metaphysical vastness. She says, pay attention. She does not say, master a philosophy. She says, stand still long enough for the world to become real again. She does not say, solve the mystery. She says, let yourself be addressed by it. That is why her work has reached so many people who might never read Emerson, or who might admire him from a distance but not know what to do with him on a Tuesday morning. Oliver makes the path feel walkable. She brings transcendence down to earth, not by diminishing it, but by locating it where it always was, in the ordinary world, rightly seen. This is why one of her most famous poems begins not with a doctrine, but with a grasshopper. Not with an argument, a grasshopper. And from there she moves by way of close and loving attention toward that final question. Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Notice the sequence. She does not begin with a large existential question and then go hunting for a decorative image. She begins with the living world. She kneels in the grass. She watches closely. She allows tension to deepen. And then out of that attention, the larger question emerges. That is profoundly transcendental. It means that vocation is not an abstraction. It is not manufactured by sheer will. It is not merely extracted from ambition or anxiety. It is discovered through relation, through contact with what is real, through receptivity, through the discipline of noticing. In other words, attention is not the prelude to spiritual life. It is one of the central forms of the spiritual life. Oliver says elsewhere, I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention. That line has become beloved for good reason, not because it dismisses prayer, but because it rescues prayer from pious vagueness and returns it to practice. The line suggests that attention itself may be one of the purest things we can offer. To attend carefully to a morning, to a creature, to really listen to another person, to feel like someone is really listening to you, to attend to grief, to beauty, to one's own life. This is not trivial. It is not merely aesthetic. It is devotional. Attention is a form of love. And there is something deeply healing in that. Because many people have been taught to imagine the spiritual life as something remote, abstract, or inaccessible, as though holiness lies somewhere outside the tangible world. But both Emerson and Oliver refuse that split. Both insist in their different ways that the sacred is not elsewhere. It shimmers through this world, through particularity, through encounter, through what is right in front of us, once we finally stop rushing past it. Oliver once said that she was saved by the beauty of the world. And that is such a striking phrase. Saved, not merely pleased, not merely uplifted, not merely entertained, saved. It suggests that beauty is not ornamental. It is not a luxury item for the spiritually comfortable. It is a form of rescue. a form of restoration, a form of truth that reaches us where arguments sometimes cannot. And I think many of us know something about this, whether or not we would use her exact language. We know what it is to be returned to ourselves by bird song that we did not expect to hear. We know what it is like to come upon water or trees or evening light and feel for a moment that some hardness in us has loosened. We know what it is like to be anxious, overburdened, heartsick, and then to encounter something in the more than human world that does not solve the problem exactly, but places it in a wider field, a field where the soul can breathe again. That too is part of the Transcendentalist heritage, the conviction that nature does not simply decorate human life, it enlarges it. It corrects the false proportions created by fear and busyness and ego. And Oliver adds something especially tender here. Emerson often emphasizes revelation, nature as disclosure, nature as illumination, nature as a place where reality becomes newly transparent. Oliver certainly shares that. But she also emphasizes belonging. That is why Wild Geese, that poem, has meant so much to so many. You do not have to be good, she begins. And from there, the poem moves toward that unforgettable assurance that the world offers itself to your imagination. And that meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are announcing your place, your place, your place in the family of things. That phrase, the family of things, does so much work. It names what so many people in modern life have lost, a felt sense of belonging in a world larger than the self, not domination over the world, not detachment from the world, belonging within it. This is one place where Oliver sounds especially contemporary. She is writing in an age more ecologically wounded than Emerson's, more psychologically fragmented, more alienated, more mobile, more lonely. And so her poetry does not only say, look how radiant the world is. It also says, you are not outside it. You are not severed from it beyond repair. You still belong. It matters spiritually because there are forms of suffering that are not exactly solved by advice or explanation. There are forms of suffering that need, first of all, to be resituated, to be placed again inside a larger living context, to be reminded, you are a creature among creatures. You are not alone in a dead world. You are one participant in a reality that is still speaking. You do not have to meet the whole world with only your singular, small self. And what if that is a part of what salvation really looks like? Not escape from creatureliness, but return to it. Not transcendence as flight from this world, but transcendence as a deeper inhabiting of it. Not purity from afar, but intimacy rightly held. At the end of a year spent with the Transcendentalists, I think this may be one of their final and greatest lessons. That a human being cannot remain fully alive while cut off from direct encounter with reality. We are diminished when everything becomes mediated, managed, conceptual, and sped past. We are diminished when we live entirely indoors, physically, emotionally, spiritually. We are diminished when we no longer know how to stand before something larger than ourselves without immediately converting it into use or content or commentary. And so the call in the end is very simple. Go outside. Not as a slogan, but as a discipline. Go outside your abstractions. Go outside your rehearsed despair. Go outside your speed. Go outside the little sealed chamber of your social media algorithm. Go where the wind is still moving over the water. Go where the trees have not stopped being trees. Go where the birds are conducting their ancient business without consulting your calendar. Go where the light still falls freely on things that do not need your approval in order to shine. And when you go, do not go as a consumer. Do not go as a collector of uplifting moments. Do not go as someone demanding instant inspiration. Go as a participant. Go as a listener. Go as a creature among creatures. Go as someone willing to be taught again about how to notice. Because that, finally, is where Mary Oliver leaves us. Not with a system, not with a slogan, not with a brand of spirituality, but with a practice. Notice, attend, receive, belong. Let beauty matter. Let the world interrupt your numbness. Let particular things become luminous again. Let your life be questioned by what is real and lovely and unsummoned. And perhaps that is why she is such a fitting figure with whom to conclude this series. Emerson asked whether we might enjoy an original relation to the universe. Mary Oliver answers, yes, but it will not happen at the level of theory alone. It begins when we stop long enough to look. It deepens when looking becomes love. And it bears fruit when that love restores us to our place in the family of things. So, the invitation this morning, pay attention. Pay attention to the world, pay attention to beauty, pay attention to the soft animal of your own life. Pay attention to what still stirs wonder in you, even now. Pay attention to what opens your heart up rather than closes it. Pay attention to what makes you feel less armored, less hurried, less false. Pay attention until the world is no longer a blur. Pay attention until prayer begins to happen almost without your noticing. Pay attention until you remember that you are alive. Pay attention until you remember that you truly do belong. And then go live your one wild and precious life. Not as a tourist in creation, not as a stranger to your own soul, but as one more grateful member of the family of things. Amen. Amen.
like to invite you all to join us in doing the dance that we actually did on the stage. Thank you. And we're going to be doing that by, I'm going to ask you to stand in a circle around the pews, so that we can, if you will, stand and form a circle around the pews. And once we're in the circle, then, hi Catherine. Once we're in the circle, I will continue to give you instructions. We're going to be singing the chant that we sang earlier 3 times. Okay, I think we could kind of squeeze together a little more so everybody could fit in the circle. Very good. Excellent. Excellent. So the next thing I'd like us to do is I'm going to just go over the song. We'll sing it together once, and then I'll go over the movements that we're going to do as a group. So join me. Deeper, deeper into the heart of love. Deeper, deeper into the heart of love. Letting go into the mystery. Letting go into the mystery. Letting go into the mystery. Rising in love. Okay, so for the we'll sing deeper, deeper twice, and so what we'll be doing is stepping in. So we'll be doing this. Deeper, 2 steps. Deeper, and then let go of your hands and put your hands to your heart, and then step back. Into the heart of love. And once again. Deeper, deeper into the heart of love. Now next we'll be turning slowly, or however you'd like to do it, to the right as we sing, letting go into the mystery, and then to the left, letting go into the mystery. Now next we'll be facing, we'll be just, since it's hard to do the partnership with how close we are here, but we're going to just extend our hands and observe the mystery in each of us here as we sing letting go into the mystery the 3rd time, and then we'll be just and when we're rising in love, we'll just raise your hands up a little bit more. So let's just try it that way. It's a simpler way than what we did, but I think it will work. So we'll do this 3 times, okay? Deeper, deeper into the heart of love. Deeper, deeper into the heart of love. Spin to the right. Letting go into the mystery. Now to the left. Letting go into the mystery. Now to the circle. Letting go into the mystery. Rising in love.
thanks to our Dances of Universal Peace folks. Please show them some love. Eileen, how do you say your last name? Papalardo. So Eileen and Rhea, they are the co-conspirators who brought this thing to us, so we're so grateful for them. All right, so since I thought we were doing some dancing, our concluding hymn would be a little bit of a dancing hymn tune. Do you know "'Tis a Gift to Be Simple"? And you're fine just standing where you are if you wish to just join us in that closing hymn. So let's sing it together. "'Tis a gift to be simple." 'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend we shan't be ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning we come down right. Let your day be a day of dancing. Let it be a day of dancing. Turn and turn and turn until you come round right. May it be so. Let's extinguish our chalice.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry with us until we meet again.
You are invited to be seated to enjoy the postlude if you wish. Dave.